of mechanical muscle memory, and which we're going to go into in this next phase. Before I go into the thought process in teaching the quarterback, I want to show you one adjustment that we make in running the triple option against this defense. And I'm not going to go through all the adjustments, and I'm not going to go through every defense because that's not the purpose of this tape. But it will affect the quarterback, so this adjustment is important. When we're looking at running the triple option, what we're trying to do is have an offense where we can run the ball against a team that's physically superior to us. You look at the service academies have done a great job of running the triple option against superior defensive talent. Well, if we're going to keep in that theory, sometimes we're not going to be able to block Will with this halfback because he's either physically superior or because our halfback isn't a very good blocker. And we want our halfbacks to be runners first, blockers second. I always feel like it's easier to teach a runner how to block than a blocker how to run. Okay, so the adjustment we'll make if we're having trouble blocking Will is this. We're going to do the same thing inside with these three players. Is we're going to seal the inside off for the fullback to run. We're going to take the halfback now, and instead of blocking Will, we're going to take him backer to the free safety. So now we still get the alley player or the free safety block, except that now it's by the halfback. We're going to take this split end and block the corner and stalk the corner. The fullback is still going to run right to the butt of the tackle. This halfback is still the pitch man in motion, again keeping in phase with the quarterback, but the only difference is the end is still the handoff key, but now the Will becomes the pitch key. So now instead of blocking Will, we're going to pitch off Will. And we feel that this way we can dictate who we want to pitch off of, whether we want to pitch off the corner, as in the first diagram, or Will in this diagram. The quarterback will open up at a 45, read the end, and now pitch off the Will backer. Backside we still seal, and we have another way of running the triple option without having to worry about a personnel mismatch. Okay, now that you have the concepts and you've seen the play on video, how do you teach the quarterback to read that handoff key? That's the heart and soul of the play, is the quarterback's play in the triple option. He's the guy that's directing the attack. He's the point guard on the fast break that's dishing the ball off. His goal as a triple option quarterback is to distribute the ball and make the correct choice. How do we teach the handoff key? The first thing is he's got to master the mental thought process. And the second phase is mastering the mechanics of the triple option. Let's talk about the thought process. The first thing we do when we talk about the thought process is to identify the handoff key. Okay, here's how we define or identify the handoff key. The handoff key is the first down lineman outside the fullback's path. Let me repeat that. The handoff key is the first down lineman outside the fullback's path. So when the quarterback comes to the line of scrimmage, the first thing he does is identify who the handoff key is. Once the handoff key is identified, the next phase is to read the handoff key. Now, before I teach you the thought process, there's a couple of principles that you have to keep in mind. Number one, we're looking for efficient reads, not perfect reads. If a quarterback is intent on making a perfect read, he's going to get caught in the mesh, he's going to fumble the ball, and he's going to be racked with indecision. I don't want a perfectionist. I want a guy who's efficient in making the critical read. I don't want a quarterback shooting for perfect reads, because by doing that, he's going to slow down the whole process and be racked with indecision, get ulcers, and drive you crazy. What I want is a quarterback who can make the critical, efficient reads. The thought process goes like this when he's reading the handoff key. I'm going to give the ball every time unless the handoff key comes down hard and flat on the fullback. Let me repeat that. I'm going to give the ball every time unless the handoff key comes down flat and hard on the fullback. So if the quarterback, or when the quarterback's ever in doubt, what's he going to do? He's going to hand the ball off, because he's going to hand the ball off every time unless. That's called an unless rule. You're only giving him a one-way thought process. He's going to give it every time. Every time he comes to the line of scrimmage and we call the triple option, he's going to hand the football off unless the handoff key comes down hard and flat on the fullback. A couple of coaching points on the handoff key read. Number one, all reads must be made on the first step. We tell our quarterbacks it's better to make a wrong read than a long read. So we want the handoff key to be read on step one of the triple option. We never ride and decide. If you want somebody to remember something for all time, always put it in a little rhyme. I'll give you an example. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Now, you'll never forget that. Okay, the quarterbacks, the idea is to make an efficient read. So the read has to happen on the first step. We want all reads to happen on the first step. So on the quarterback's first step of the triple option, he's going to decide whether the ball is going to be handed off to the fullback or pulled. And again, we're shooting for an efficient read, not a perfect read. And when in doubt, he would always hand the ball off. Everything starts with the first step of the quarterback. The quarterback's first step is to open at a 45-degree angle with the arms extended and his eyes on the handoff key. Now, there's a critical coaching point in teaching the first step, and that is that the toes of the quarterback have to be pointed to the sideline, not back into the backfield. Let me explain to you why. When he takes his first step, it's at a 45-degree angle out here and looking at the handoff key. By pointing my toes to the sideline, or by the quarterback by pointing his toes to the sideline, he's in perfect position to read the handoff key. That is exactly the position we want him to be in. Arms extended, eyes at the handoff key, toes to the sideline. Now, I've heard option coaches talk about teaching the triple option with the chin on the shoulder of the quarterback. The reason they do that is because the toes are pointed into the backfield, and naturally the torso is turned back, so now you have to coach the quarterback to keep his chin on his shoulder to see the handoff key. By teaching the first step with the toes to the sideline, you eliminate that whole coaching point. All you have to do is put your toes to the sideline. Now I don't have to worry about my chin on my shoulder or anything else. I'm naturally looking at the handoff key. So the toes to the sideline is a very important point. Just remember, you point your toe where the body will go. You point your toe to the sidelines, that's where you're going to go. You don't have to teach anything else. All you have to teach is a good first step. We make the reads on the first step for a couple reasons. Number one, the only way to stop the triple option is pursuit. All-out pursuit. So you want to get to the perimeter faster than the pursuit. So you don't want to ride and decide and keep a long, overdrawn mesh like the original triple option teams do, or did in the past. What you want to do is make a quick read and get to the perimeter. A drill that we do, or a drill that you can do if you want to see who your best triple option quarterback is this. You take out your Gilman strip, play strip, and take a center, a quarterback, a handoff key, a fullback, and you stand on the end of the strip with a stopwatch. You have the quarterback go through the read process, the mesh process, sprint to the end of the Gilman strip, and the quarterback that gets there the fastest, that can make a good read, get out of the mesh, and get to you the fastest, is the guy you want pulling your trigger. That's the guy that you want at quarterback, because he's got a quick mind, quick hands, and quick feet, because he can make the right read and get to the end of the stripper in the shortest amount of time. That's what makes the triple option work. The days of tricking people with a long ride are over, because everybody plays assignment football. So what we want to do is make a quick one-step read. Better a wrong read than a long read. We want to get out on the perimeter. By making a quick one-step read, you accomplish a few other things. Number one, you're on the perimeter faster. You're getting your speed in space. Number two, you're taking indecision out of the quarterback. He doesn't have to worry about making a perfect read, because I'm telling him better wrong than long. I don't want the ball being jockeyed in the fullback's belly while he's trying to make a perfect read. The third benefit is you eliminate a lot of fumbles, because there isn't that indecision of give or keep. The fourth is the fullback becomes a much better runner when he gets the ball early, because he can make a more intelligent cut when he knows that he's the ball carrier right now. And the last benefit is the fullback also becomes a much better blocker when he knows